Welcome to Mobile Rolling. After the break, it'll be my pleasure to be talking to one of the Joneses. Mobile Rolling, I'm joined by Tony Jones, and a lot of people in the industry would know Tony, and certainly his father Norm, who had the fans horses. Welcome to Mobile Rolling, Tony.
Welcome, thank you. Good.
We'll start from the start because you're a bushie.
Yep.
So tell us where you were born, early years of schooling, work, horses, Dad's involvement, your involvement, and anything else that you might think is interesting for us.
Well, not very interesting, but I was born in 47 in Yorktown.
Yorktown Hospital?
Yep, and my dad was Norm, like he was at Yorktown. He was a shearer, but he used to have horses, trotters, and grew up with trotters all the time.
Mm. So obviously you went to the Yorktown
area school.
Yep. What age can you remember, like were you 5, 2, 12? How old were you when you knew Dad had horses and you started seeing them? Were you delivered on a farm or did you?
Yeah, well, we only had 20 or 30 acres, I think it was. But yes, I drove fast work. I drove a horse called Fan Sister when I was 10. He drove a horse called Nippy Rose, which fell over at the time. So
with all those fans horses, were they originally one of the Murdochs from Waruka?
Yeah, he got all his horses from Nocky Murdoch at Waruka. He got a horse called Para Rip first, and he took it back to Mr. Murdoch and said it was too good, so he gave him Fan Sister.
So Para Rip raced in...
Para Rip went into Messengers, I think.
Yeah, did that go into the menu? Was that a trotter or a
poster?
poster?
He was right, it was a good horse.
Yeah. So who taught your dad the rope sort of thing? You don't just...
Well, I think it was my grandfather, Walter. He had horses, but no real success, I don't think.
Where was he to?
Yankalilla.
At Yankalilla?
Yeah, that's where Norm was born, in Normanville.
In Yankalilla. So there's no trots in Yankalilla, although in those days you still would have had Victor Harbour.
He used to drive him up to Theberton or somewhere.
Oh, right.
That's my grandfather.
Your grandfather?
Yeah, but he got right out of that, and when he went to Yorktown, he was at Waruka with Mr. Murdoch, and that's when he got into horses. Really true.
So how old would have your dad been? A teenager, or how old would he have been? Obviously,
he would have been. He's born in 1914, so he would have been around 25, 30.
Okay. And so if your dad was alive, he'd be 100 and...
He's 100 and, something, 107.
Yeah. Okay, so you're in... You said your dad was at Yorktown. So what did he do? You said he was
He used to shear.
Shear and stuff like that, but then he became a butcher. How old was he when he was in the butchering shop?
Oh yeah, he was a butcher before he left Yankalilla. I think he got kicked out of Yankalilla a bit.
Did he? Yeah, well, we won't...
We
won't go there. Yeah, so when you're in Yorktown, he had the fans horses in.
He got Fan Sister first.
So did he buy those horses off him?
I think Fan Sister was given to him.
And she started
because she had a bit of a bad back leg.
Okay.
And he used to penetrine it every night and morning.
Yes. All right. So Dad was in the. Did he have the butcher shop at Yorktown?
No.
Okay. So what did he do? He just trained a few horses.
He just trained his horses, and we used to shear and
pot around.
Pot around. That's
so
all.
What? So you went to school. You went to high school.
Yeah.
Then what? How old were you when you left school?
14. I did 14 and a half or something. I went to do a post office course. Passed all my exams and got to be a postmaster.
Postmaster.
Yeah, but PMG. I wasn't allowed to be because I was only 16 at the time.
Too young?
Too young.
Ahead of your time, Tone.
Yeah.
So what did you do? You said, well, that's it.
And they sent me up to Whyalla, and I went up there, and it was riding a push bike out about 10 mile and 40 degrees heat.
And so you went from a postmaster
to a post home.
To a posting.
Myself home.
Delivering, yeah. So I'd say the Whyalla stint didn't last that long?
Well, I was there for about 6 months, I think.
That was pretty good, though.
Yeah.
You didn't think you'd last that long, did you?
No.
So you went back to Yorktown, then what did you do?
Well, I did a bit of car salesman for about 3 or 4 months.
Youngest car salesman ever at Yorktown?
That's right. with John Murdoch Motors.
Well, they were Fords, were they?
Yep.
Sell a few?
Sold a few.
Yeah.
And then Mum and Dad took over the shop for Mr. Darwin at Port Broughton. And
So your dad went to Port Broughton there just as you're coming into Broughton on the left-hand side, he was,
yeah,
wasn't he?
we lived in the back of the shop for a while.
Mm. So he was running the butcher shop.
Yeah.
So how did he get that gig?
Mates with Mr. Darwin, Howard Arbin.
Howard Arbin, right?
Yeah, I think it was Howard. Yeah, Howard Arbin.
HC Arbin, was it?
HC.
Yeah. So
Hartley's one.
yeah,
Howard.
so what horses at that stage? He had horses at Port Broughton, didn't he?
That's
How
right.
many were?
He went up there with a little one called Fan's Babe.
Mm.
And he had another one too, I can't remember which one. They were both his.
Mm.
Anyway, Fan's Baby had the main one. She finished up, won the Gawler Cup,
Mm.
won the Channel 2 Cup. Yeah, she was pretty good.
So, just for all the viewers and listeners, what Dad's colours were?
Green, gold hoop sleeves, and the cap. He never had the cap. He always had her own.
Yeah, in those days you
Yeah.
put the silks on the top.
Yeah,
didn't you? Yeah. Okay, so how long was he in Broughton for?
a couple of years. I think about two odd years.
Mm.
Then poor old Mum got multiple sclerosis,
Mm.
so we shifted back to Stansbury.
Went to
with my
Stansbury.
sister.
Oh, you got a sister there. So
Yeah.
he was trained out of Stansbury?
Yep. First thing we could do before we even shifted in the house was make a trotting track.
Mm. So you lived on a few acres there, or?
Yeah, about 90 acres we had.
Mm-hmm.
There's 90 acres.
So what were you doing then? Were you working in the butcher shop? with
I
him?
went to the butcher shop then. Did a bit of pub work after the shop.
So when Dad went to Broughton, did you go to Broughton with him?
Yeah.
Were you training the trotters then?
I was still helping with the trotters, but he wouldn't give me a drive.
No, he wouldn't give you a drive.
No.
So he used to drive. He used to drive, didn't he?
He used to drive them himself,
And if he got suspended or anything, what did he do?
which was fairly regular.
Not put him in.
No, they used to get a spell, or Les Harding.
Les Harding.
Young Les.
So young Les took the drives and you had to do all the hard
I
work.
had to do nothing really. I just
Oh,
get
well.
the shit.
Okay. So he went back there. How long? Well, he's always had a winner. Always had a winner. The fans' horses, everyone
Yeah.
knows him. And
Yeah.
so he raced in. Did you drive at? Did you drive at Wayville?
I had to drive on Fan's Boy at Wayville just before they closed it up.
Mm.
I think he ran fourth in the Derby.
So who used to drive your dad's horses at Wayville for him?
Joey Webster.
Joe Webster. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a top man in front and round
Joey,
Wayville.
yeah.
Well, that's funny because Joey's daughter ended up marrying Les.
That's
Harding.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they keep the drives
no,
in
Lloydie drove him a few times.
Lloydie Webster as well.
Lloydie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they kept it in the family. Joe
Yeah.
drove and
Billy
Les drove and
Shin.
you got nothing.
Billy Shin used to drive both
Yeah.
Fan's Babe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
He was probably the coolest fella I've ever met, Bill Shin.
Bill Shin. Yeah.
He grabbed the reins off me in the parade ring at Wayville one night and he said, just stick around, it won't be long.
Mm.
In other words, he was going to win. He was barrier 13, I think, or something like that.
Mm.
He did.
Yeah, no, he was
He was
ahead of his time, wasn't he?
He was. He was a gentleman.
They reckon he used to take a horse to Sydney for the Derby and he'd drive the float and put the horse on and go all the way there and back on it. He didn't care if he's
Probably.
on his own or not.
Yeah, well,
Not flying or anything like that, no way.
Dinny Nolan took one of Norm's Ideal Robert to Perth, across the Nullarbor, one in Perth.
Mm. So when did you start? Like you drove a few for Dad.
Yeah, I drove
How did that come about? Dad got too old, or
about
just
70s. No, I think he started to give in a bit.
got too much, too hard?
No, I think he must have felt sorry for me in a way.
Okay, so
He started giving me a drive on Fan's Addis, and I beat him one night, so that was the end of that for a while.
Mm.
Then Hannock, I used to drive him a fair bit. Well,
So Hannock, is that the horse you trained, was it?
Yep.
So did you train any of the fans' horses at all, or did your dad had his
Not
license right up
until
until
we
you
got
finished?
until we got to Gawler. I
Okay.
didn't.
So when you say Hannock, that was a horse that was at Cadena,
Hannock,
wasn't it?
Yeah.
So how did you get Hannock?
Joe Hancock gave it to me one night.
Did he feel sorry for you too?
No, he just wanted to get rid of it.
Okay, so he was after you.
Yeah,
So tell us what happened with Hannock, because I can remember it.
Hannock could not. He was the biggest
Couldn't get
joke.
there. He was
Well, Hannock
ordinary
was...
conveyance needs to improve.
That's
That's
very
what
much.
the comments would have been in the Portbury Recorder every week.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what did you do? Because I know he did end up winning, didn't he?
Yeah, winning, he won 7.
7.
He won the free-for-all, the last race. And
So did all the people that used to have him then go, what have you done to this
No,
horse?
because Norm used to go over to him and ask him if he's got any more duds.
Oh, right.
That really used to help things along.
So
a
your
lot.
friendship of Kadina people went down the tube pretty quick.
Yeah.
So what happened with Hannock? So who was training him? Joe was he? Gordon, is that
Well, Shugs had him, Lenny had him, everybody in town had him, I think. I think Joey Webster had him too. And then they come up, Stevie Stewart had him. Everybody.
We're talking some old names here.
I was the seventh one anyway.
Lucky 7.
Lucky
So they said, here, take the horse?
He gave me the float, the harness, the racing bike, give me the lot.
I say putting in the wheel, just give it early.
A friend of mine, Mick Hughes, and I went up one night, hooked his float on, put the horse and everything in the van. We were in biz.
So what happened? How many starts did you
Well,
have?
we had, I don't know how many, we got into trouble once. We went to Whyalla. We ran second to last on Saturday. On Monday, we won by 30 metres. So that was all right. We come back home.
Travel sickness.
Yeah, it was a bit. And then I think the travel on the next start, he didn't go that good, and then he won. Then they rang up somebody on Saturday.
Patchy.
But he was a good horse.
What was he by?
7 brothers.
Oh.
Yes, he wasn't very well bred. But he was a good horse to train. Like the wife came home with one of her nurse friends. She loved trotters. So I just put her on the back one day and said, go down the road. So out the road she went. And the wife said, don't do that, she'll get hurt. I said, no, you only go down the corner, he'll turn around and come back. That's just what he did. Come back. She couldn't do a thing, just went in and stood up by the...
So at that stage, you were down at Stansbury. So Dad was still training you, just had Hannock on the side.
Dad was pretty good. Yeah.
Okay. So when's how long's Dad been passed away?
About 20 odd years.
20 odd years. Okay. So when did you go to Gawler after Dad passed away, or what happened?
No, we went before. He was still around.
The kids wanted to see the bright lights, did they?
No, they went to university.
Yeah, that's it. They wanted to see the bright lights, no university.
Well, one did.
Stansbury.
The other one, she just studied till she went mad. Yeah.
So you shifted you sold the butcher shop and that, did you? Just got out
Yeah,
the butcher shop?
we sold the butcher.
And then you shifted to Gawler.
Shifted to Gawler.
So what was Dad doing then?
He stayed over there with Mum.
And looking after Mum and he had a few horses?
She got that bad, she had to go into the Melaleuca home.
Yeah.
Well, not Melaleuca, but
The nursing home, yeah.
And he stayed there and he died there.
Okay.
Just before he died, he was 82 or something. He took his horse, what was that, Norm's Last, it was, shocker horse. Took it to Adelaide on the Monday for the races. Come back home, took it home at Stansbury. Felt a bit crook and he was dead by the next Monday.
So on that Monday, who drove that horse at Norm's Last? Les Harding. So Les used to drive?
He used to drive up.
He used to drive.
Oh,
so did he send any down to Les at all? Or
always
went to Les?
He'd get them ready, take them down, Les would drive them and he'd keep them there for a month.
Yeah.
And then normally go and pick them up.
No, he's had a great success with all those horses from
Peter Thompson. Peter Thompson and I got the same thing going when I had Norm's Pride.
Yep.
It's my last horse. I was at Stansbury, retired back over there. I used to take Man About the House and a couple of Peters down, look after them, jog them behind the jogger. Yep. He'd race Norm, then he'd bring Norm back with another one and he'd take his back.
Over. Yeah. So when you went to Gawler, what were you doing there? Were you butchering? I
did for a while, and then somebody said that there was a job down at the Gilbertson's boning room.
So you went there?
So I went there, I sliced, what they call slice, for about a fortnight. Next one I was up in the office, finished up managing that.
Oh, that's cool. So how many horses were you where did you train to?
At Gawler.
Whereabouts? Out of?
Everston Gardens.
Right. So they stables are yours at least?
Yeah, I think somebody bought them for some other reason.
Oh, okay. All right. So how many horses did you work when you were there?
I did have about 4 at once.
So what was the best one you had down there?
Barry Butler.
Barry Butler. Was he a swinging butler?
Yeah. Swinging Butler fans girl, that one.
So what was his? He was pretty speedy horse, wasn't he?
He was a pretty good horse, yeah.
So you drove him?
Yeah. So I drove him in all his races.
How many do you reckon he won?
Oh.
Did he win a classic as a 2-year-old or a 3-year-old?
No. Darryl Moss had him, the footballer.
Oh, that's right.
And he said he can get him to go, and I took him over to Norm's for a week and brought him back and we started winning. So he just had a happy knack with him.
So yeah, well he was a horseman, wasn't he? There's a lot of trainers here, but not a lot of horsemen.
Well, I don't know, he's not alive now, but we're coming into Globe Derby one night and I give Jeffrey, my old mate, a bit of a hevo and hit him out the road.
Jeffrey Webster?
Yeah. And he said, "No, well, see you later, Jonesy." And he yanked them over and out I went. Had my foot caught in the stirrup, the bike was over, and I was going on the back of my head. This is in the main straight with only 200 metres to go. And I had one rein I pulled into the top of the
course.
The course.
Outside the track.
I said, "Good boy, that'll do." And he ran up the top and stopped and waited for me to get the bike down. That's a fact. The guy at 2 wheels, he jumped the fence to help. He said, "If I hadn't seen it, I'd never believed it." And that's how he used to win his races. Right and good boy. So if you ever win a race with him and you got up beside him and he's going to beat you, say, "Good boy, that'll do," and it would have stopped.
He stops. So right was go and good
right
boy was stop.
Go and
good boy was
good
stop.
Boy was stop.
So how long were you in the butcher shop? You went back to Stansbury, you said, and retired for a while?
I spent 13 years with Gilby's.
Yeah.
And I started up T&R pastoral in Adelaide. Then they shifted up and went bigger again. I wasn't there then. I went back to Stansbury. And then Peter used to do my horses.
Peter
Thompson.
Peter Thompson in Peru.
He used to do Norm's Pride, and I'd just joggies up.
Do you ever wish that Dad, with all the horses that he had, and I've seen you drive and I've seen Dad drive, do you ever think you wish that Dad give you a few more drives?
Yeah,
without being silly, you know what I mean?
I did really.
But I suppose he'd done it from the day he'd broken it in. He'd done everything, so he wants to keep going, doesn't he?
He did, and
one man band sort of thing.
He was, and he was worth more to me doing what he was doing.
Yeah.
I bought Cloth the Warrior. Remember Cloth the Warrior? The boy, a mate of mine, and I bought him, well bred.
Cloth the Robust horse.
Took him over to Norm's. He had him over there. He said, "I put him in." I ran third with him, I think, 3 times in a row, and I said, "Give him a spell." So Norm took him over, give him a half an hour spell, and he took him out and brought him back on the Monday for me. Rossi Sugars drove him for me, and he won. Won his next 2. He was worth more to me.
So he had the knowledge.
Yeah.
So when's the last drive you had?
Iroquois Chief, Mr. Trimboli.
Did we get the chocolates or not?
Yep.
You did.
Well, we went up there.
Went out a winner. Where was that to? Gawler?
No, Strathalbyn, I think. Strathalbyn was my last winning drive. And we went up. I took the horse up too. No one backed him, and the wife was the only one that backed him in the car too, I think. Anyway, he was a bit of a pain in the butt. So I'd done the cruet about a lap and a half out, and I finished up getting the trail right around, and he just went on and won. Drew number 1 at Globe Derby the following Saturday, and he couldn't beat you and me tied up. So give the game away.
So how many winners you drive over? You didn't.
I wouldn't have a clue. Photos got too much to buy. I just no.
So do you follow the trots anymore?
Yeah, I follow them a little bit. I like Jill Nielsen, and I'm still mates with them.
She does a good job with those, especially those horses of Jeffrey Eastham. She does.
She does.
Yeah,
she's got them everywhere. But I used to go down to Victor Harbour and help the boys down there. Actually, my colours, new ones.
What colours are they?
The gold and blue hoop sleeves. They're the club's colours at Victor now. So.
Yeah, but that's it. You I don't know how many. It would be interesting to see how many horses the fans logo had. The number of horses that won and the number of races that won would have to be in the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, wouldn't it?
Would have. He's got horses. I got a photo in there of Danny Butler winning at Petersville, Illinois. We see phone calls from Chicago from Dale that owned it. Fans boy won in where was that? Fans boy, where did he win? Yeah, in America anyway. Henry Pierre, I used to drive him for the Yanks, and he went over and won in there.
So the thing is, we don't have. There's none of that breed left anymore, is it?
No, not to my knowledge. I think that breed is totally finished now. Pity.
Yeah, it's a bit like John Baker's breed at High Star at Cleve with High Advice and High Moor and High Challenbar and High Valley and all those. There's a couple Ryan Horick has that are out of that breed, but there's not. That's John's son is now runs the stud, but you can just see that they're not. You know, like the fans' horses. You know, if you only had one of those and had it infold to a nice, stallion and got a filly and looked after it and kept the line, but I think there was a period there in probably the 90s and 2000s where people just went, you know, if they're not going to be, you know, you can't compete against the top liners, and if there was any that weren't any good, they just went to heaven. They didn't even bother keeping them. You know, the cost of keeping them was too much.
Has all got a burial over at Yorktown, between Yorktown and Stansbury. But yeah, I tried to breed another one for myself from the same as Norm Spry, but he died. Stephen Norman's.
What was that one? What was the stallion? What did you breed?
Yeah, the stallion was really is a real good one.
How long ago was that?
Only about 5-6
years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what do you think? Where are we headed at the moment? You've seen the times when you could go to Perry Trots and they had a dozen bookmakers, and
well, yes, you go down and they'd ask if you wanted again and all that sort of crap. You can't do that anymore. But it's a worry, the trots, from what I can see. I've reading again last week about they're going to cut the stake money and all that. Well, I can remember when the race at Perry was 450 quid for winning. I
can remember when I was only young that I was mixed up with Perry, did some sponsorships and trophies for them, and we were running for $1,000, and we wanted to put their stake money up, which was going to make it above Gawler, and they said we weren't allowed to.
Yeah, they did.
That would have been 30-something years ago. Now, $1,000 30 years ago to $1,000 today.
Yeah. Graham Keatley told me one day him and Lona won a race at Waver one night, and they didn't know what to do with the money, so they bought 2 blocks of land at Brighton. Now you wouldn't buy 2 fence posts.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway.
Yeah.
All right, Tony. Thanks for your time. I know that everybody would have remembered, or they may not have remembered your champion that you had on your own.
No, cannot.
But they'll always remember all the fans' babes and the fans' last and the Norm's last, and they'll never forget that smile, will they?
No. He won the Gawler Cup with fans' babe at 250 to 1 in 1964 or 5 or 6.
And even in this day of racing now, you very rarely see a horse at triple figure odds win at the trots.
You don't.
They just don't bet them. In the old days when it was 200 to 1, you got a quarter for the place. You got $50 for a place. Not these days. If it's 200 to 1, they'll bet you $12 a place. Yeah,
but he was running around telling everybody he'd win.
He's a good judge. That's why he was driving and you didn't get it.
Yeah, that's why I didn't get it right.
All right, Tony, thanks for your time, and hopefully we might see you at the track one night.
You could.
Thank you.
Thank you.